Welcome to the week roundup. We're doing Division 7 and 9 with Bevo.
Okay, Darcy.
This is the first night, Bevo?
It is indeed.
Mate, look at that. Yeah. He's a virgin of this, so it's very first time. So, welcome, Bevo. So you'll thoroughly enjoy it tonight. We've even got the our sponsors behind us, so it's up this time. Last week it fell down, if you didn't. So it fell down, so halfway through it was very amusing. But
I did actually see that, yeah.
It is, it's very amusing. So, but anyway, we'll start with the first game. It's Flinders University. Had a bit of a horrid run on Saturday, as they have this year, but they're out there having a good kick on Saturday afternoon. They took on second place Marion. It was Marion 19 goals 12 and 126, defeating Flinders University 3-goal 1. So look, a bit of a 20-goal, probably 26-goal win there to Marion, who are second, so they're doing very well at the moment. So just give us the best players there for Marion.
Yeah, sure. So we've had Jay Smith, R-Way, Zed Angel, LK, C Watts and Young Heffernan as well. So yeah, Marion and O'Sullivan's Beach, I mentioned that before.
Yes,
two teams coming down from the Southern League. They're flying, aren't they?
So they probably may have. Look, I mean, where do you fit them in? It's pretty hard, isn't it? So you do 6 or 5, but I think Div 7 probably the lowest. They're doing very well. They go to Div 6 next year, and they'll probably see where they fit next year. But they're good on. They are the A grade side. There's a few teams here that's their C grade, like Tree Gully, etc. But very well. So. We've got Wadey for his 8 goals. He got second best, so 8 goals to Wadey. Robinson with 4, and then there's a couple of they float around for 2s and 1s after that. So they're spread around quite a bit. Marion, Flinders University with Moyle with 2, and Warney was the other individual goal scorer. And the best players.
Yeah, we had Schofield, Pardo, Perry, Nitschke, Hull and Adelaide. So well done to those boys. And like you said, good on them for getting out there and having
they are, absolutely. So they haven't won a game yet, but hey, they're having a kick and a catch, and they're having a bit of fun out there, I imagine. So we go to Golden Grove. Golden Grove, they were sitting 8th at the moment, taking on St Paul's, who were 4th. I think that's right. They may have gone up over the time, but look, we saw another big win there, mate, didn't we? So we took St Paul's with 25 goal 19, 169 to Golden Grove 6 goal 4.
Yeah, you're spot on. St Paul's are sitting 4th at the moment at 18 points there. Actually equal on the ladder with Tree Gully at the moment, so it's very close there at the top of the ladder in Div 7. But yeah, Golden Grove, that's right. They sort of struggled a little bit against St Paul's, and yeah, a bit of a one-sided affair then. Darcy, as you mentioned before, and Peddington, what a game! 12 goals to him from St Paul's.
No, absolutely. So now if you can mention that next line, or
what's that, sorry?
Mention the next name.
Oh, yeah, sure. So, Nasruddin?
Nice word. They say English with Darcy because I can't pronounce those big words. But, and leave it with 3, Davies with 2, Werfel with 2, Salisbury and Maraska. That's the one. Individuals there, so the best players.
Yeah, definitely Pennington with his 12 goals, well deserved. And Davies, Rouse and Warfel and Leebelt there, so well done to those boys at St Paul's. And for Golden Grove, Whitehead kicked a few goals, so well done to him. Yep. Morrison, Lemon and Lim with the goal kickers as well there for Golden Grove. And the best players were Tiss, Wood, Rouse, Darwin and Kunt.
That's the one. So,
yes. But don't want to pronounce that one.
No, exactly. So you see, Pennington with 12 goals did get the best player. We had a bit of controversy last week where a player got 13 goals and got 4th best player. So there was the whole game was all to get over 10 goals, surely in among the best players. But good win there by St Paul's there. But as you said, I think you were spot on there. St Paul's, Mawson Lakes and Central United 4, 5 and 6 run 12 and 8 each. So 9 and 9. Sorry, Tree Gully. So we'll come back to that in a minute. So as you said about Mawson Lakes, mate, they're sitting 5th. So they're just 2 games clear of Central United. So you probably think they're. Let's give it a bit of a two-game leeway. So just take on this game here.
Yeah, sure. So it was Tree Gully winning this one, 15 goals, 7, 97. 2 Mawson Lakes, 9 goals, 8, 62. Of course, Tree Gully sitting in 3rd spot at the moment. Mawson Lakes 5th. So pretty good game that one in the end. And gee whiz, here's another one to try and pronounce. Mawson Lakes, Kefex Holy.
Nice work. I reckon that's about right.
Yeah, kicked 2 goals. Bruce Gordon 2 goals. Jonkin O'Gorman. Jonkin 2, O'Gorman 1. Vandenbrink and Mackie. I used to play with Jackie Vandenbrink, well done mate. And best players for Mawson Lakes were Hatima, Bruce Gordon, Hayden, O'Gorman and B. Reedy, and Tree Gully didn't supply any of their best players.
Must have done so well they thought they didn't need to supply any goal scorers. But look, I think Mawson Lakes may have been a little bit disappointed in that. Tree Gully is sitting 3rd. Mawson Lakes, they won that, they'll bring 3 games clear of Central United, which probably would have maybe cemented the spot because there's only probably 7 games to go now, I think. So. But good win there to Tree Gully. They're C grade side. They've got a lot of. If we did see a lot of their ex-A grade players coming in the C grade, which as you do, as many teams do. So hopefully these guys that do play in the C's will.
Interesting one as well. Tree Gully have got Dave Bartell playing from.
We talked about him last week. He has won more best and
fairest
for Goody Saints for years. He played state. we said that he was the only one of those players that played state footy under 23s that couldn't play state footy again after that. But I think he won the association medal 3 times from memory as well. So he's probably by far he's one of the best amateur league players I've ever seen. So, but
still be pretty handy, I reckon. I
think he would be too. So. Now we've got another massive game. We had obviously second last Mitchell Park taking on top spot, as you said, O'Sullivan's Beach, absolutely cruising at the moment. So just give us a roundup on this one.
Yeah, sure. So it was O'Sullivan Beach, Lonsdale, 18 goals, 19, 127 to Mitchell Park, 3 goals, 8, 26. And yeah, like I mentioned before, O'Sullivan Beach, Lonsdale, they've come down from the Southern League. They are flying 12 wins, undefeated. They're going to be hard to beat this year, and yeah, it's good to see another Southern League team going well.
And got you spot on there, Bevo, because obviously they haven't lost a game yet, so you think, and that does a lot of confidence because they'll get smashed in the Southern League as well. So this sort of, you hope that this will draw back the crowds as well and get players back at those Southern Beach. They're struggling for numbers as well there. So
a bit like Marion as well. They were
absolutely
struggling down there, weren't they? In the Southern League, and then good to see them do well in Div 7. So.
Yeah, it attracts a lot of spectators back, players maybe back as well. So good luck to them. So. We've got O'Sullivan's Beach. Goal scorers was Callan for 5, Loveridge for 5 also, Conway with 4, and all individuals here to Conway, Lyons, Rigney, McKilver, McNamara. Best players was Loveridge with his 5 goals, Callan, so they by 5 goals each, the 5 goal scorers, Clinch, McIver and Hoare.
And for Mitchell Park, Bellwood with 2 goals and Nelson a goal, and the best players were Halimi, Parker, Scott, Hartman, Clark and Weekly, so well done to those boys. And a bit like Flinders, good on the Mitchell Park boys, get down there and
absolutely,
have a
yeah.
crack. So,
hope they consolidate. Flinders University, hope obviously a lot of their students, I'm not sure if it's a student-related thing or friends and friends, so just hopefully a lot of the students get out and have a kick next year.
Yeah, exactly. I've been at the end of some hiding zone in my footy career. So
who did you play for?
I played for a few different clubs. I played for Walkerville, Parry Hills and also CBC in the amateur league, and Birdwood up in the Adelaide Hills. So and even had a crack in Melbourne as well. So
AFL, Carlton?
No, just in the EDFL.
No, good on you, absolutely.
District Footy League. Played for a team called Burnside Heights, believe it or not. It was our first year in the seniors when I was playing over there. We won 2 games all year. When our very first game as a club in the seniors, believe it or not, we celebrated like winning a grand final. The week after, we got beaten by 280 points. Talking about a turnaround.
Again, you're out there having a good time, so no, good on you, Bevo. What league is that, in Melbourne or is it out of Melbourne?
Out of Melbourne in the western suburbs, so it's the Essendon District Footy League, so we're in Division 2 because you've got the main league, which is the Premier League, then you've got Division 1 and then Division 2, so that's the 3rd league. But actually played against Ange Christo, so there's some pretty handy guys running around. So
they most of them do, they come back, and play... after AFL career, go back to the home club. So
exactly, it's great to see. Yeah.
But, anyway, go to the last game. We've got Central United took on. So Central United, they're sitting 6th at the moment. Took on Houghton Districts. They're 7th, so 6 and 7. They're Houghton Districts 2 games behind them at the moment. So, but a good win there. So it was Central United 12 goal 14, defeating Houghton Districts 8 goal 14. Probably a bit poor kicking on both sides, 14 points each. So, but. Could have been a lot closer if Houghton Districts sort of consolidated some of those points into goals. But we've got Central United, we've got Porter with 4, Winter with 2, Gorgon with 2, Moore, Kay, Searle and Frith were the individual goal scorers, with McMillan, Grogan, Harvey, Porter and Turnbridge amongst the best players.
And for Houghton Districts, Henderson with 5 goals, Schultz, Wanganeen and McMurtry all with a goal each. And good to see another one of my mates from Birdwood, Josh Davis, the best player for Houghton Districts there as well.
Oh, is he?
So, yeah. So that's good to see, and I'll just go down with the rest of the players there. Cooper, McMurtry, and Anderson also in the best players there. Anderson with his 5 goals, of course. So
is he an old Baxley Park High boy? Is he just
Josh Davis?
Yep.
He's actually a teacher now. Teaches at Golden Grove, but formerly he played with Birdwood before that in his younger years, and actually last year he was playing for them as well, but went back to Houghton. To play his mates down there.
Yeah, so, absolutely, which is good. So we'll just go through the table here, which usually I've got it in a paper format, but hopefully it doesn't close on me as it does. So as you said, Bevo, we've got O'Sullivan's Beach, Marion. They're just cruising on very nicely at the moment. Teacher Gully aren't, they're equal with Marion, but I think Marion probably just the better side at this stage. St Paul's equal with Teacher Gully with Mawson Lakes in the 5, then 2 games out of the 5 of Central United. The Houghton Districts, Golden Grove, and obviously struggling at Mitchell Park and Flinders University. So
it's very close at the top, except with the exception of those Sullins Beach. Those other 4 teams are really battling for those couple of.
They are. There's only one game from 5th spot, Mawson Lakes, up to 2nd. So
that's awesome.
Could be the difference between or the double finishing 2nd and finishing 6th actually. So
yeah.
So looked at this week's games to see if this may make any difference. So we've got Houghton Districts to take on Mitchell Park. So this is probably 7th versus 9th. At Houghton Districts, so it's a fair way to travel for Mitchell Park, but I still think
we'd get the job
done with this one.
Yeah.
Sullins Beach and Golden Grove, so look, I think there's going to be a big winner. Sullins Beach, Golden Grove are struggling 8th spot at the moment, but and especially travelling out to Sullins Beach from Golden Grove, that's got to be the longest distance in amateur league, I reckon.
It's a fair hike.
Adelaide Free League, God, that is the longest. That might be the longest drive.
Definitely need to take a packed lunch, I think.
Absolutely. So. Next game we see Tree Gully take on Century United, so you've got 3rd versus 6th. I think out there it'd be a good game to spot on Bevo. I think Tree Gully and Pertering Grove are very hard to beat out there, regardless of what grade you're playing.
Dave Bartel might snag a few there, I reckon.
Yeah.
And St Paul's, as we mentioned before, they're sitting in 4th place at the moment, going on quite nicely, and Flinders are struggling a bit, so I think St Paul's will win that one quite comfortably as well.
They certainly will, and I reckon probably this could be the match of the round. Yeah, 2 of them in the 5, as you said, Bevo, or 2nd, sorry, Marion taking on Mawson Lakes. I think Marion are going to be cruising this one. I think Mawson Lakes will probably struggle against Marion. But,
should be an interesting game as well. There's another couple of boys there playing for Mawson Lakes from Parry Hills, one of my old clubs, Darren King and Jack Vandenbrink, I mentioned a bit earlier on, so good luck to those boys. But yeah, it should be an interesting game, but I think Marion, too strong. Another team that come down from the Southern League that are going on quite nicely.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
But thanks. That's Division 7 all wrapped up, and we'll see you next week.
Look forward to it.
Bye.